In the aftermath of the 2024 election, America is even more divided than before. Half the country fears the end of democracy, and the other half welcomes it. As America inches toward the brink of authoritarian rule, now more than ever, we must force ourselves to have the necessary conversation.
Haley said she will not make me Trump cookies.
What's that?
Haley
No, you said, why didn't I make Trump cookies? I said, because I don't like him. You didn't ask me to make them for you.
Haley,
I don't really have time right now.
Will you make me Trump cookies?
Yeah, but it'll take me a while. I'm busy.
Okay. And when might I receive these?
I don't know. I got to ship like 300 articles of clothing. I have to ship 50 boxes. I have to get ready for Valentine's Day. I am booked up with cake, so I'll get to it when I get to it. I don't really know when I can. I'm busier than ever.
Wonderful.
And I won't. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm successful.
Welcome to the Necessary Conversation. I'm Chad Kultgen. With me is my hyper-successful sister, Haley Pope, and my Trump cookie-wanting mother and father. I guess, Dad, you can't eat them unless they're sugar-free. Bob and Mary Lou.
Yeah, sugar-free.
So we come to you with this episode today. It is an interesting day. It is the last day before we have a self-described dictator taking office in America. It is perhaps the last day we will have without overt authoritarian rule in this country. We know that he surrounded himself with American oligarchs, and the three richest people in the world will all be at his inauguration. We are talking about Zuck. We are talking about Musk. We are talking about Jeffrey Bezos. So that's the world we're living in. Today will be an interesting show. I have 6 topics. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of them. I hope that we do, because they're all pretty interesting. Mom, do you have any ditties to begin the show?
I'll say them quick because I know you have several topics. As of, I think, 3 hours ago, we're taping this on Sunday. 3 hostages were released. They are 3 of the women out of 33 to still
They were released or they were announced?
What?
They were released or they were announced?
They were
30 minutes ago they released.
Okay. Great.
They were released.
Okay.
I'm up on this, people. They'd been in captivity 471 days. And of course, you know who gets on TV and takes credit. He said he's been working on it so hard for the last year. But Donald Trump said, if those hostages are not released on the day of my inaugural or before, there will be hell to pay.
He also said he would have the entire Middle East situation solved within 1 day of being elected president. That didn't happen.
I'm not going to get into it, like who made it happen. I think they both did, but I think it was more Trump's sternness and people are afraid of him. That's why we got 3 of the women back. But what I'm saying is, thank God, at least we got 3 back. There's supposed to be more coming. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if the ceasefire
He's going to bomb Iran anyway.
They are, Iran's not afraid of Biden. They are afraid of Trump.
Trump's going to bomb them.
Okay, so I'm just saying, usually after we air the next day, something bad or good happens. This was good. It happened today. Number 2, his farewell speech. Biden gave a farewell speech.
Couldn't watch it. No one is sounding the alarms this time around with Trump. No mainstream media, news outlets, Biden himself. Nobody is standing at that podium saying, we have a dictator about to take control of America and we are entering an authoritarian era. Watch out.
We're leaving one.
We are leaving one.
Okay. All right, those are your ditties?
You don't think Soros, people like that were around
I got to say, 24 hours and all your bullshit goes bye-bye.
Third ditty. LA residents are told to stay in over the toxic gas and smoke. Have you been staying in, Chad?
For the most part, yeah.
They have reported that in 2023, when Hawaii had those bad fires, they didn't see it till 2 years later. People having terrible things happen to their lungs and heart. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to move.
All right.
Trump's family circle this time is going to be a little different. And I think this is just cool. Like when he first arrived here 8 years ago, Barron was in the 5th grade and he's now in college and super duper tall.
And Melania could stomach being seen in public with him. And now she can't.
Oh, yes, she will be there and she will be beautiful. And I can't wait to see how she looks and what she's wearing.
Compared to Magic Mike,
And the
the man.
last time Melania.
He's getting divorced, by the way.
Okay, hush it. The last time Melania did come to the White House, she was given no tour by the people that left, nothing. They didn't help her. This time she knows what she's doing. Another family member that will be different this time that will be surrounded by him is Kai, that granddaughter that's very articulate. I like her a lot. She was 9 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. And now she's kind of like a social media influencer, and I like watching her.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And then I had Biden's speech this morning. Ridiculous.
I literally couldn't watch it. I watched like 45 seconds of it, and I was just like, "Get out, fuck you."
It wasn't a mumble either. He like when he talks, it's like it's all he's reading it off it. He's reading it off a teleprompter. That's okay, but it's like the words are all together. You can't understand it.
It's over now anyway.
Why did you not watch it, Chad? What got to you about it?
Because he's like talking about his legacy and the country's better off than when he left and all, or than when he came into office. And it's like, no, Donald Trump won the election. The country is in the worst place it's potentially ever been post-Civil War. And that is, I believe, partially at least the fault of Democrats not being able to win this election.
Okay, so, we'll see.
All right, we will see. Now we're going to move on to a question from a listener. If you out there have a question for us, all you have to do is record it in a 1 minute or shorter audio or video format. Send it to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. I go through them all. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Kultgen family. This is for Chad and Haley. How can Democrats adapt their media strategy to counteract or replicate Republicans' ability to dominate the news cycle with emotionally charged narratives while maintaining integrity and factual accuracy? Also, how can Democrats simplify complex issues into digestible, emotionally resonant talking points, even if the details are left out, to rally their base and shape public discourse effectively like the Republicans do? Thank you guys very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.
There you have it. This is a question from me and Haley. How can the Democrats claw their way back to relevance after this? Haley.
Just to clarify, I'm not a Democrat. I hate politics and I hate politicians. They have to beat them at their own game. More salacious, probably more lies. All politicians fucking suck. So I think that Donald Trump, he's like a character. They just lied. They lied their way to the top. So I mean, that's what you do. You utilize social media, to put your narrative out there. And Democrats suck. They're also just not as mean. They're not as good at bullying, I guess. Like they just laid over and fucking died. So how do you beat Republicans at their own game? I don't know. I'm not a Democrat. I don't subscribe to that shit.
Did to the Democrats.
I don't like politics. I don't like politicians. I think it's all corrupt. I think it's all shit. So to beat shit at its own game, you have to be shittier.
So who's going to run your country, Haley?
I don't know. I don't think that there needs to be a president. There are federal agencies in place that help regulate, the environment. Like all of these things that have been put into place. There are agencies that regulate those. I think those are the people that we need to vote on, period. I don't think a president is necessary, I guess. Like, who is Donald Trump? What the fuck is a Donald Trump? He doesn't know jack shit.
It's a reality host.
Exactly. He doesn't know jack shit. We just have all these rich people
we'll
now,
listen to your blowhardness in about 2 years.
Now it's a bunch of rich people calling the shots. They do not have our best interest at heart.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's all it was calling the shots before.
Not like this.
Fucking George Soros. Bullshit.
George Soros?
No, but George Soros was never campaigning with any of the Democratic nominees.
No.
Yes, it does.
More money than anybody ever has.
Elon Musk is now going to be an employee of the federal government.
You guys are delirious.
Okay.
There are very few politicians I think that I've ever really liked. As an adult, because when I was a kid, who gives a fuck? I didn't like who cares about politics. But now as an adult, there are very few that I actually like. I'm hoping that the Dems are now starting to kind of line up AOC. I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
I don't know
She'll never be
4
a dog
years.
catcher again.
Okay.
Who else would make a good nominee, but I like her. I like what she says. I believe that she cares about people at this point.
AOC?
But I think eventually politics always corrupts everyone. So it's whoever will give them the most money.
I agree. I'm going to do, I think sometime this year, the technology is almost there. I'm going to make an AI political pundit and just kind of throw it on YouTube and see what happens. Because I think the whole system needs to be destroyed, essentially. I don't want to see the Democrats come back. I want to see the Democratic Party destroyed, as well as the Republican Party.
How about when Soros paid all the actors and people to get in buses with signs to go out and protest?
$400 million.
$400 million.
Okay.
Put them in a bus, make them go there, make them protest.
Well, that's not verified. And how about when Trump literally tapped Sylvester? We'll get to it. That's a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to our first topic. Trump's inauguration tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. America becomes an authoritarian country as President-elect Donald Trump is set to be inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. His second non-consecutive term in office, a historical occurrence last seen with Grover Cleveland in 1893. Due to anticipated freezing temperatures and high winds, at least this is the story on paper, the event will be held indoors at the United States Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C., a rare move last implemented during Ronald Reagan's second inauguration in 1985.
Go ahead.
That is happening. They're doing it indoors.
I know,
in
but
light
you
of recent,
interject as on paper it is.
Well, on paper, that is the reason they're giving. In light of recent security concerns, including a terrorist attack in New Orleans on January 1st, 2025, and previous threats during Trump's campaign, heightened security protocols are in place. Approximately 8,000 National Guard troops will be deployed throughout D.C. to ensure the safety of attendees. Following the inauguration, there will be a victory rally featuring performances by Kid Rock and the Village People and a candlelight dinner with distinguished guests. And we already saw Snoop Dogg did a set at his pre-inauguration ceremony. First question, Haley, is Snoop Dogg dead to you?
Oh, I'm still gonna listen to his old music that I like, but like currently, you killed it.
There is a strange thing happening with Trump this time around where all these people are just kissing his ass.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's real or not. I know with Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, it's not real. They don't give a fuck who's sitting in that chair. They will give them $1 million and pretend to like them. Snoop Dogg is a little different, though. I don't see the benefit of him doing this.
No.
Anyways.
Because he likes Donald Trump, maybe?
Maybe. Let me ask you this. Dad, do you think there will be violence tomorrow anywhere in America, not just at the inauguration, anywhere in America because of the inauguration?
Probably not.
Mom?
There might be protests. They said they're already starting to set up, and it's probably George Soros money.
Yep, it's probably George Soros. George Soros.
I mean, that's the way they do it.
They're too big of cowards.
I'm sure there will be protests.
Too big of cowards. You saw Luigi Mangione just shoot the United Healthcare CEO in the back multiple times.
Good for him.
In regard to what? What is the question?
Well, Dad keeps claiming that the left is cowards, and yet we're the only ones who assassinated somebody.
One guy.
Recently.
Woo! That's a hell of a
got to assassinate at least 2 guys for Dad to be impressed.
There will be protests, but they're not going to be burning down cities and stuff.
Okay. Haley, do you think there will...
They're going to catch hell if they do.
All right. Do you think there will be violence, Haley? Anywhere?
No, I don't think because of the inauguration. I think if he follows through and he starts throwing immigrants in detention camps, I think we're going to see it. I think the news is going to be very bleak for the next 4 years, really, but certainly like immediately following any of his bullshit that he's saying he's going to do, there will be violence in the streets for sure.
Now, when you say violence
apart and shit, you know,
I didn't know she was still talking. When you say violence, Chad, like the Summer of Love, that was just nice, fun stuff, right?
What are you talking
violence? The Summer of Love in Oregon
in 1969?
It wasn't 69. It was.
What are you talking
about? When they burned the city down and took people hostages.
George Floyd horseshit.
That was called the Summer of Love?
Yes. That's what the Democrats called it.
That's what the mayor of San Francisco called it.
Okay. I don't understand your question about or how this relates to anything going on now, but will Trump be a dictator on day one, as he promised himself? Dad?
Yes.
And you're good with that, being ruled by a dictator? You lick the boot.
I don't think he'll go far enough.
Okay. Mom, will he be a dictator on day one?
He has to undo all the shit that Biden just is doing at the last minute here to try to screw him up.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you're cool with it. You lick the boot.
Fuck yes.
I want to get back. I want to get our country back. We don't
Two
even have
bootlickers. Haley, will he be a dictator on day one?
I think so. Yeah. I think he's going to start. I'm actually terrified. Like I when he was elected, I was scared, and then it kind of, went away because life happened, and, you kind of forget about it a little bit, but I am genuinely terrified as I read news coming through, specifically in Texas, about like encouraging partners to turn their wives and their girlfriends in for abortions, death penalty for abortion. Like I start reading all these things, and it will be at a federal level at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
The opportunity is already there. It's already starting in certain states. And so, reading all of this news, that is what he is about.
I've never heard
surrounding him.
I've never heard that.
That's because you don't read real news.
Okay.
So
let's hope he can get the 1,000 Al-Qaeda and ISIS people that have crossed over into the United States out of here, so that they don't take down.
What is going to stop him? Think about this.
60,000 people.
We have the most powerful military in the world, and he's already talking about taking Greenland and Canada and Panama. What is going to stop him?
Nothing.
Well, the military might. That's my final kind of hope, is that people who are in what are traditionally labeled as apolitical positions, these are all military leaders. The military is supposed to be an apolitical tool wielded by the U.S. government to...
It's not because of Biden.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's not an apolitical tool anymore.
Those people...
It's going to be in 24 hours.
Okay. Those people can potentially tell him, no, we're not going to do this. The order you're giving is unconstitutional. It is unlawful, etc.
But
so
what
that
if
could
they
happen.
don't? But what if they don't?
We got to see. It's on them. We can't do anything about it. Let's move on to topic number 2. Speaking of Trump and his first day in office as a dictator, his first dictatorial act might be to flip-flop. On Friday...
Is that a word?
What?
Dictatorial?
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. God. Let me Google this. I'm almost...
Alexa,
it sounded right.
Is dictatorial word...
Dictatorial. Is it weird? Is that real? Is that real?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was just making
I was like, I didn't think I made it up, but then you said it, and I was like, maybe I did just fucking make that up. All right. On Friday of this week,
Alexa,
the U.S.
stop. It is. Alexa said it is.
On Friday of this week, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously upheld the TikTok ban. And then Saturday, January 18th, 2025, TikTok proactively shut down and disabled its services in the United States ahead of the federal ban set to take effect at midnight. This preemptive shutdown was in response to the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, or the PAFACA, which mandates that apps owned by companies from foreign adversaries like TikTok... Hello?
Yes.
I thought you were saying something. Sorry. Like TikTok, must divest their U.S. operations or face a ban. Upon accessing the app, U.S. users were greeted with a message stating, quote, a law banning TikTok has been enacted in the United States. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now, but we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Then Trump today, as we're recording this, posted on Truth Social that he will issue an executive order on day one of his presidency to extend the period of time before the law goes into effect, giving TikTok more time to divest before it must shut down in America. Strange that it was in 2020, President Donald Trump himself proposed the ban of the app as he viewed it as a security threat. He signed an executive order instructing that ByteDance, the China-based parent company of TikTok, divest from the app, though the order was reversed by the Biden administration in 2021. However, in 2024, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act It's such a long, clunky name. Was
Question.
proposed in Congress, again ordering the ByteDance company to divest.
While you're rambling, can I ask?
I'm not rambling. I'm literally reading the news. All you have to do is listen to it. Then we have the discussion. That's how it works every time. But
are
go
you
ahead.
aware that Iran has built an underground or an underwater
TikTok
base? Are you aware?
So we're talking about TikTok right now.
Yeah. TikTok's ridiculous. It's going to be back and it'll be fine. Okay. What's going to happen is the United States is going to quit fighting with the three H's, and they're going to go right after Iran, point blank.
The three aces? Who's that?
H's.
Who?
What's that?
The Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah.
Hezbollah. Okay. Well, we're talking about TikTok. So, Mom,
they're going to kill the head of the dragon.
Okay.
All right. Do you think Trump, Mom, will force ByteDance to sell some portion of TikTok to Elon Musk?
He's going to get some American that's got a lot of money to buy it out. So then we don't have to worry about China being involved. Why not? We all love TikTok. Haley has stuff on there for her business.
Of course.
He'll executive order it tomorrow. We'll all be able to get back on it tomorrow, and then we'll find an American investor.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that just goes off without a hitch?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much
100%.
so. Kind of like bring me some hostages, or you're going to have hell to pay. And we got
there's no ulterior motive. You don't see any ulterior motive.
What?
She is not going to fuck with Trump.
You don't see an ulterior motive?
No.
Then what?
That
No.
Not Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are going to own the biggest social media platforms.
Good.
That's where we get our news.
Why is that good to you?
That's where we get our...
No, that's where you get your fucking news.
I just make little videos on it.
We don't get our news from them.
I know you get it from Newsmax, which is essentially worse than social media.
There's a bigger picture here. They're suppressing freedom of speech.
Making it up.
Let her talk.
Okay.
I don't understand, Dad, why you think it's a good idea for all these billionaires to control all media on the internet.
Because it's been going on for 4 years with the wrong fucking people. Okay. So now it's our turn to run it for 4 years with the right fucking people.
So you're not against propaganda.
Censorship?
What?
Do you believe in censorship?
Not. How do you know they're going to censor you? In fact, my bet is
this has already been proven. If you make a new account on either Instagram,
FBI, the DOJ, all these motherfuckers.
All right, that has nothing to do with any of this. If you make a new account on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter or X, with nothing attached to anything, it's not using your email or your name or any of your preferences. It's a brand new clean account.
Okay.
Within 24 hours, you will start being aggregated pro-Trump right-wing shit on all of those platforms.
Good.
That's already happened. So it's not. Why is that good? Why is it good?
That's the best thing that can happen.
Why?
Because we need 4 years of dragging back the bullshit that Biden has put out there.
All right. So you're against, or you're for these social media platforms just completely controlling all the media you see.
100%.
All right. Interesting. Mom, are you?
I want my TikTok back, and I think someone from America that's rich needs to buy it.
Okay. Haley, final thoughts?
I don't know. It's all terrible. Obviously, TikTok is necessary. There are 7 million small businesses on TikTok, and they all are trying to make a living using social media because that is the way of the world in the future. Mm-hmm. So to shut it down is fucking... literally just took people's livelihood away.
Listen, I coach many players for a little game called The Bachelor, and several of them, one of them specifically I'm thinking of right now, makes a good living directly and only from TikTok with a little supplemental from Instagram. Yeah. That's gone. So it literally is just saying your job gone. Fuck you. And that's, I read roughly 1 million people are making like livings off of TikTok in this country.
That's why it's coming back. Trump won't let it not come back. And you said he's flip-flopping. Well, now probably because he's researched, he knows that that makes people a lot of money.
You think Trump does any research ever on anything? All right.
Trump doesn't give a fuck about any of those people. He's doing this to control the media.
Correct.
Okay, your opinion.
Let me ask you this. Would you find it problematic if the Trump organization becomes the owner of TikTok?
No.
Huh? You think the president should control? I mean, he already is through his proxies.
Look what Biden's administration did, what they controlled even on TV.
Let's move on to topic number 3, Mike Johnson's conditions. House Speaker Mike Johnson has advocated for attaching conditions to federal disaster assistance for California in response to the devastating wildfires in the LA area. He attributes the severity of the fires to mismanagement of water resources and forests by state and local leaders, suggesting that aid should be contingent upon policy reform in these areas. This stance has sparked opposition from Democrats who argue that disaster relief should remain unconditional to ensure timely support for affected communities. They caution that imposing conditions could set a precedent for future disaster relief that would come with strings attached. The debate extends to discussions about pairing California's disaster aid with a federal debt limit increase, a proposal that has garnered mixed reactions within Congress. As the wildfires continue to cause extensive damage, the timing and terms of the federal assistance remain subjects of intense deliberation among lawmakers. Dad, should conditions be put on disaster aid from the federal government at any time?
Like, are you talking?
You're talking about the $770 that he's dishing out for no good reason?
That's
no,
sad.
He's saying that they're not going to give federal disaster aid to the fires out here unless the governments of California make policy changes.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's a good idea.
So the people who lost all their house, their entire lives that have been burned up, tough shit, you say?
No, it's terrible, and you know that.
No,
he's saying
again.
The word is deplorable. He belongs in prison.
Go back and you do your research. If they had taken care of stuff the way they were supposed to.
You hang on a second. Hang on a second. There's no research and there's no taking care of shit. People's lives are gone. They need help. And you're saying they shouldn't get it unless the governor of California changes a policy?
Straightens up their fucking act, because if they don't, it's just going to happen again.
All right. Well,
the California government has nothing to do with the residents that are residing in that fucking state that lost all their shit.
Those people voted for them, Haley.
I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Greg Abbott.
People like
you're
Chad
fucking wrong.
Voted for those fucking morons.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does too.
They deserve that.
And so let me ask you this. So no matter who you vote for, let's say a tornado wrecks your fucking house, it's gone. Right. And the United States government is saying, you know what? We want to give you $500,000 to buy a new house. But your governor, let's say, is like, no, fuck that. We're not going to do it because that's Democrat money. You're just beholden to whatever your leaders are doing.
We go through that every fucking spring and fall.
Yeah. All right. Well,
there's just no humanity left.
I don't feel one bit fucking sorry for those rich people in California who could have sold those fucking houses when they knew that their state government wasn't going to help them out.
I don't know what.
Because they're worthless.
I think it's terrible. There was people that lost their lives. They lost their houses.
Shit.
No, I think it's. I don't agree with him. I think it's terrible. But what I do think, they should have pushed those people they elected to get that reservoir filled.
Mm-hmm.
Clean that fucking brush up. It's just gonna burn down again.
And
what the fuck's the point of building it back up? Hollywood's over.
Once my house insurance was declined and I couldn't have any more, I'd pack my house up, put it for sale, and get the hell out of there.
Okay.
You know, if the people I elected aren't going to help me, then I've got to take the initiative, pack everything up, and get that. That's why people are fleeing California. That's why I want you to leave, Chad. It is a state that's gone under, and
it's over.
It's over there.
LA is over.
Okay, quit yelling.
Just get ready for it.
Well, I hate to bring it to you. I'm sitting in LA right now. It doesn't seem very over. I went to the grocery store this morning. I got breakfast.
Okay.
I'm sitting here recording this show from this very room. I will post this show to YouTube later.
Over.
Did you wear a mask when you went to the grocery store?
I didn't this morning, but sometimes I do.
Chad, you are going to end up with bad health issues over this.
Okay.
Please get out.
Put on a mask.
Please.
All right, let's move on to our simmer down, please.
Oh, God.
This is per my mom's request. How did Kitty get her name?
Okay. Several people have asked me. Kitty and Max, they were both born 8/23/11. So let's see, she's 13 going on 14. She's over there licking the couch right now. We bought them in Plantersville, Texas. Dad saw Max online. Max's name was Bobby. He said, we got to go get Bobby. And this was right after Rudy had died. I said, we don't need no more dogs. I'm over it for now.
You saw the dog, Dad, and you wanted to name it after yourself?
No, the dog's name online was,
I see, it was
Baby
Bobby. Got it.
And that's what they called Dad when he was little. So that was a must. So we go to look at Bobby. There's Bobby. He's in there with 4 others that look exactly like him, but he flipped over on his back, peed all over us. I said, he is very, not subjective. What's the word? When they're
submissive,
dominant over you. I said, that's the one we want. We took Bobby. As we're walking out the door, the ladies, I said, were there only boys in that litter? She said, no, there was one girl. I said, where's she? She took us to a cage that was very small. It had a Beanie Baby in it. And Kitty Cat, Sugar Bear, was on top of the Beanie Baby, just all slumped over. I go, what's wrong with her? She said, well, we're not for sure, but she's sick. Immediately, your father said, we'll take her too. That's how we got 2. We had to wait till she got healthy. We still don't know what was wrong with her. We went back and got him. That's how we got Kitty Cat. Oh, and her name online and in the cage was Honey. So we had a Bobby, we had a Honey. We brought him home. She was not a Honey. She was a Kitty Cat Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear came from part of one of my granddaughter's names to her because she saw that Kitty Cat liked to eat a lot of sugar. So she added the Sugar Bear. From there, we added all her favorite foods, which are, and this is her whole name.
But wait, you
What?
still have not explained why you named her Kitty.
Because she wasn't a honey. She looked like a kitty and she acted like a cat.
Okay.
A lot of her characteristics when she was little, we brought them home in a white laundry basket that sat in my lap. It was a smaller size one. She'd flip over like a cat every time. It was funny. A lot of the things that she did when she was little were like a kitty cat. All right. Kitty Cat, Kitty Cat Sugar Bear, Honey Bunches, Watermelon Cupcake, Cucumber, Pumpkin, Baby Girl. So sometimes I call her Kitty Cat Baby Girl. Sometimes I call her Honey Bunches. Yeah. But her main name is Kitty Cat Sugar Bear.
Her maiden name, you said?
Be on TV with a picture. This was a few years ago, both Max and her. But the anchor lady, Allie Meyer on Channel 4 News, said, oh, Kitty Cat Sugar Bear. That's KKSB. And so she named her KKSB.
All right. Pretty good story.
Max was always Max, Maximilian, Max a Pad, Maxi Pad. So when I'd call him out in the yard, I'd say, Pad, Max a Pad. I miss him to this day. I cried last night over him.
All right.
He's been gone 2 years.
Does he ever come to you in dreams?
3 times. Yep.
That may be real, by the way. If you're not listening to the Telepathy Tapes podcast, I highly suggest you all listen to them.
What podcast?
It's called the Telepathy Tapes. Let me ask you real quick, another simmer down. Thoughts on David Lynch dying this week, Dad?
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He was a director, right?
Yeah.
A big director.
I don't really have one feeling or another.
Mom?
I don't even know how old he was. I remember, what was the movie? Something, Blue Velvet, Black Velvet, something
Blue
Velvet.
Velvet. June.
And he smoked a lot, didn't he? And I think that's what he probably died from, probably emphysema.
I don't know if he did or not. I don't think he did.
I think he died from emphysema.
He
smoked a lot.
Thoughts on his passing to the next
It's sad. I mean,
plane?
Yeah.
Existence?
Yeah. He kind of like transformed cinema. Yeah. Wasn't his whole thing kind of like Dream World?
Yeah.
And
he was definitely
like
a tour who was
underbelly
working with human consciousness and kind of ideas and what's real, what's not. That was all kind of his bread and butter. I loved a lot of his stuff.
What was the biggest movie he did? That one I was talking about?
No.
I mean, technically, like the biggest budget one was probably Dune in 1988, but that was
Was it 88?
a
Wasn't it
flop.
84? 84 or 5?
I think it was 88. But no, he's most known probably for Twin Peaks, a TV
Twin
show.
Peaks.
That was like probably his biggest kind of like cultural contribution, I would say. But I loved all of his stuff, and I am sad that he's gone because he was an interesting guy who was always fucking around with human consciousness, which I tend to do as well. Let's move on to our next topic. Peter Hegseth, Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, underwent a contentious confirmation hearing before the Senate Armed Services Committee this week. Democratic senators questioned Hegseth's suitability for the role, citing his lack of high-level management experience and limited knowledge of international alliances. Notably, when asked about the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Hegseth was unable to identify member countries. Not even one, raising concerns about his grasp of critical defense partnerships. Hegseth faced scrutiny over past allegations, including sexual assault and excessive drinking. He denied these claims, attributing them to smear campaigns, and emphasized his commitment to maintaining high standards within the military. Despite the contentious hearing and Hegseth's numerous neo-Nazi and white nationalist tattoos, it seems likely that he will be confirmed as Secretary of Defense. Republican senators have largely supported his nomination, praising his military service and alignment with President-elect Donald Trump's vision for the Pentagon. The Senate Armed Services Committee is expected to vote on Hegseth's nomination tomorrow, January 20th. Given the Republican majority in both the committee and the full Senate, his confirmation appears probable. Dad, should we have a person that has neo-Nazi tattoos as the Secretary of Defense?
Absolutely.
And why is that?
Get rid of all those fucking rhinos that are in the Pentagon now.
Okay. And you think that him being a neo-Nazi is cool?
He's not a neo-Nazi.
Just has the tattoos. Just accidentally got the
Not
tattoos.
a neo-Nazi tattoo.
Huh? He's
Huh?
got multiple tattoos that have been identified as white nationalist tattoos.
Right. He's a white nationalist.
That's a neo-Nazi. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You please, for me, can you differentiate the tiers of organized racist organizations and groups in America?
Did we ask Alexa?
There aren't any Nazis left.
Okay.
Okay.
They literally were carrying Nazi flags at Trump rallies.
Yeah.
Nazi
Yeah.
flags?
I'm sure Hegseth was.
Hegseth.
Who's Hespeth?
Hegseth or whatever. I can't do his name.
Hegseth.
Hegseth.
Mom,
Hegseth.
do you think we should have somebody who has white nationalist tattoos, to be fair to Dad, not neo-Nazi, just white nationalist tattoos?
Yes.
Do you think that person should be running the Pentagon?
Yes.
Don't you remember Biden said that is the worst something in the whole United States is white supremacist bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
again, the question is, do you think somebody who has committed tattoos to themselves?
Yes. For
Tat-
the 5th time.
Do tattoos matter? Look at your sister.
Yes.
Sleeves.
She doesn't have any white nationalist
none of
tattoos.
mine are yeah.
Are you sure?
I am 100%
Are you sure?
positive.
Are you sure your tattoo didn't
got
slip in a
plenty.
swastika while he was doing Slimer on your arm there?
Jesus
Mom,
You never
Christ.
know.
Come on, answer the question. Do you think somebody who has white nationalist tattoos should
I
be holding
did.
any high position? No, I'm asking Mom now. Should be holding any position in our government, let
don't
alone
think
Secretary of
Keep
tattoos
Defense.
matter.
asking me the same fucking question.
You know, if I thought
The
tattoos
answer's the same fucking question.
No, he asked me. If tattoos mattered, I would be very upset with Haley. Well, I was in the beginning when she promised me she'd only get one. Then it went to 2.
I remember you cried. You called me crying at one point, Mom. Haley's getting another tattoo. Oh. And I
Yeah.
was like, what are you calling me about? Why am I being dragged
It
into this? And
wasn't.
why are you
And it was
He's a
crying?
Nazi.
It wasn't about this the
Haley's a Nazi.
tattoos or what she was getting put on her skin. It was a promise she made to me, and it was broke. And she promised me, and
Yeah.
you know that's the effing truth, Haley.
Guilt as a weapon.
Haley,
Yeah,
You wield it
look
well,
at my
Mom.
eyes. How many tattoos did you promise me?
I legitimately don't remember this, but I'll go
Oh.
with it. I probably did
Okay,
when I was
okay,
what,
Biden.
17?
No, you promised me you would only get one tattoo. And now how many do you have? 90?
I don't know.
Yeah, that
Many.
was what upset your mother, the promise. Promise is broken.
Mhm.
I don't like broken promises.
Holding
right,
those
well.
30-year long grudges.
And also
not
you vote
30
for
years,
Donald
I hold 'em
Trump,
for
a man who
life.
literally
You're a
lies about
Nazi.
everything always. Huh?
I hold them for life.
You're covered in tattoos. That makes you a Nazi.
Okay.
Ask
All
Chad.
right. Do you
Chad.
think, Dad, that Trump will try to use military force against United States citizens and have Hegseth kind of uphold that, be his henchman?
Sure.
Yes.
And you're for
His
it.
henchmen to do what?
To control the military
Yes.
into using military force against U.S. citizens, to quell protests, to
Yes.
look for illegal
All the
immigrants.
above, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
The
and you think that's a
Now,
valuable...
don't ask me that same fucking
Okay.
question over and
No,
over.
I want to come back to a different line of logic, though, because you said earlier...
Don't yell.
You
I'm
said
sick of
earlier...
asking that.
Huh?
Go ahead.
You two are closer to Nazis than he is.
What?
You two are closer to being a Nazi than Trump.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Our next topic is one less reason to get divorced. This week, freshman Senator Dusty Devers in your home state of Oklahoma introduced Senate Bill 1958, aiming to remove, quote, incompatibility as a legal grounds for divorce. Currently,
Jesus Christ.
incompatibility serves as a no-fault basis for divorce in Oklahoma. The proposed bill seeks to eliminate this option, potentially making it more challenging for couples to dissolve their marriages without assigning specific fault. The bill proposes consolidating certain grounds for divorce, such as habitual drunkenness and gross neglect of duty, under the category of abandonment. It also suggests removing grounds like impotency and imprisonment. Well, I think those only affect men. Imprisonment could affect women, but I think disproportionately those two things affect men. He wants to get rid of them. Opponents describe the bill as ridiculous, oppressive, and terrible, expressing concerns that it would place a heavier burden of proof on individuals seeking divorce and potentially overwhelm the court system with more contested cases, and the negative impact on personal freedoms and the ability to exit unhappy marriages without assigning blame could disproportionately affect women. Dad, do you support this? Should we make it harder for women to get out of marriages if they're bad?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because it's too easy.
Okay. So do you think that a woman, if she's in a bad relationship, potentially even an abusive one, should be forced to stay in it legally?
That wasn't in that proposal.
That's
That
what it
wasn't in that.
implies.
What?
That's what it's basically implying, that incompatibility can't
It's
be a
not
reason for
implying
divorce.
anything.
It didn't
is.
say abusive.
You're a Nazi.
No.
I think divorce is bad, and I think divorce is so easy to get now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know everything that was thrown into that law or bill or what it is, but yeah, if you're being hit on and knocked around, of course you need to divorce that person.
Just let me ask you this. What have you always wanted for me and Chad? What have you wanted for us?
To be to be happy, to be married, to have children. Those were the three things I wanted.
But
for you guys.
first
Happy,
in order is to be
married,
happy.
And children.
So if Chad or I was in an unhappy marriage that we did not want to be in, you think we should have to stay?
No.
So you think that this is a
You should
terrible
have to
idea?
work it out.
But I think
Why?
today I think it's just so easy. It's like,
It
been
should
here
be.
3 months.
Because it's
It
too
should
easy
be.
for you Nazis to just flip
No.
the
Yeah.
coins.
Why do you...
Younger people don't believe in the institution of
Nazi.
marriage anymore, because if you want out, you fucking leave. If you're unhappy, you fucking leave. That's how
right.
it should be.
And in my day, there's a thing called a commitment.
Yeah.
I knew your father.
That
for
shit is
4.5, 5
archaic.
years.
That is archaic. To be unhappy in a marriage with children, you set a terrible example for your children. My
Right.
parents
We
are
did.
unhappy.
Oh,
Here's
we
what
That
I'm
did.
affects
saying.
them.
Do we act unhappy?
Here's what I'm saying. Oh, that's funny, Chad. That's funny.
Do you,
What
I
I'm
mean,
saying-
strangely, you act happy, but about malicious shit. You act like you have glee that people's
You're a
houses
Nazi.
fucking burned down. Some of my friends have lost everything, and you're like cackling with glee about it and saying they deserve
Say
it.
that word.
So I won't say that you're unhappy, but I will say that you are sadistic.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. I knew your father
No
4.5,
one- no one
5 years before we got married.
You're a Nazi.
Then he goes away for like 8 months in the military. I didn't see him for 8 to 9 months. Then he came back and it was time to get married.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's called a leap of faith. It's called
It's a
Yes,
famous
I Want to
date
Do
in the
This.
Bachelor franchise. They always make them jump out of an airplane. It's the leap of faith
It's called
date.
Yes, We Get Married. Our 50 years, we'll be married 50 years in May. Do you think every year has been just A-okay and everything great? No. But you
Absolutely not.
You
I have
work it
very
out.
distinct memories as a child of laying in my bed listening to you scream at each other
But
in the next
fine.
room.
That's how you wanted to live your life. No one should be a fucking prisoner to a relationship, to another person, ever. If you are unhappy,
don't get
you should be
married.
able
Don't
to
get
walk
married.
away. Just
Well,
like
don't get married, you little Nazi.
if you're unhappy at your job,
Please.
you find
Please.
if you're unhappy at your job, you find a new one. If you don't like your fucking hair, you change it. If you are unhappy in your relationship, you leave. And no one should be fucking chained to anything they don't want to be in.
Then don't get married. You're right. Then don't
Wait,
get married.
hang on a
If you're
minute.
not willing
Now-
to take the commitment and stay in it and try to work things out, then don't get married.
Hang on a minute.
Nazi.
What the fuck?
Haley said that no person should be prisoner to another person. And Dad, you said then don't get married. So to you, marriage is one person imprisoning another?
No.
No, God.
Okay. Well, then why would you say that when she says no person should be a prisoner and you said that don't get married?
Because she can't make a commitment.
If you think
Huh?
getting married makes you a prisoner, then don't get married.
You enter into a marriage because you love someone. That doesn't always last. And if it fades and you want out, you should be able to walk away.
But
Ooh,
but what
there's your problem.
what I'm saying
it doesn't
today,
always last.
today it's very easy to say.
So your promises are weak.
Today it's very easy to say, I thought I loved you, no I don't. Bye. See ya. Divorce.
And you should be able to leave
I
that.
agree with
Yes.
that.
No.
And you should be able to leave that.
Is there a time period on that when you won't work
No.
through it or talk?
Absolutely not. No. No.
So 2
it's
months,
your life. Your
2 months.
decisions.
I thought I loved you, now I don't. Bye.
Correct. That's right.
Wow.
That's
I would
right.
not go into a marriage like that.
You're a Nazi.
Stop it.
It doesn't
Moving on.
matter. It's not a choice that you make for other people.
No.
You can't do that. Just like you can't decide for a woman to have an abortion or not. That's not your fucking choice. So to make a woman stay in a
Abortion and
relationship
marriage.
with
Right,
someone who's
right,
potentially
here's the
abusing
difference
her,
between you guys and us.
you
What's
can't
that?
legislate people's
You're Nazi.
choices. You shouldn't be able to do
Oh.
that.
If you say that word again, I'm going to punch you.
This is
Stop it.
this
Now
is
that's
literally-
marriage. Who's the prisoner in that situation? The tables are turning.
There
I'm not gonna
is
say
a
that.
there is a very real war on women happening in the United States. We want
Yeah.
you to carry children against your will. We want you to be
Oh my
married
God,
against
here we
your
go.
will.
Here we go. Okay.
We want to kick you out
Yes.
of the fucking front lines of the military because you're a woman.
Yeah.
Like there is a very
Get back in the
real
kitchen.
war on women.
Because you can't
And-
fight.
Yes, they can.
No, they
A
can't.
real war on women. Yeah.
Women
That is
cannot
happening.
fight.
This is all part of Project
How do you-
2025. I don't understand how you guys are dismissing any of this. It's right in front of your eyes.
Oh,
Abortion
Jesus
is going to be
Christ.
federally overturned within the next couple of years. There are going to be all these cases coming through at state levels that go all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is going to have to rule on whether or not abortion is going to be federally allowed or not. Some states can do it still now. Some states can't because they've passed their bills. But once that goes to a federal level, it's going to be outlawed across the entire country. It'll be federally illegal. You don't think that's against women?
Why do you think that's going to be happening?
Because there are all these cases that are lined up to go to the Supreme Court. Trump will be
Okay.
in office. He has his 3 Supreme Court appointees. They already overturned Roe versus Wade and kicked it back to states' rights.
Right.
The next version of that is the states don't matter. No state can do this. No doctor can perform this. It is federally illegal.
We'll see where this goes. We'll see where this
But,
goes.
okay, let's just say theoretically that does happen or whatever, whether you believe that's going to happen or not. Let's say it does. Do you think that is part of what Haley is talking about? This war being waged on women in the United States?
No.
No.
Why? That is
War's not
a
being waged on women.
This is the me.
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, what they're doing is they're giving women more rights.
In what way is it more
y'all
rights to
let
have
the president-
critical healthcare decisions taken out of your
Shit.
hands?
It knows nothing.
You goddamn Nazis got them all lined up.
What?
Punch him. Punch him. Punch him. You said you'd do it.
3
Okay.
times.
Let's move on to our final topic. Trump's Hollywood ambassadors. This week, Trump appointed actors Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight as special ambassadors to Hollywood. In a Truth Social post, Trump stated, "I am pleased to announce that Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight will serve as special ambassadors to Hollywood, California. These great actors will be my eyes and ears as we bring back the entertainment industry, which has lost business to foreign countries over the past 4 years. Together, we will usher in a new golden age
Back to the White House.
of Hollywood."
You got to get better.
My question is this, Mom.
There's a question.
What?
Yeah. What the fuck is Trump talking about here?
In regard to what? I couldn't understand
Any of this
your
bullshit?
accent.
I can barely understand him myself. This is what he says. "I am pleased to announce that Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight will serve as special ambassadors to Hollywood, California."
Right.
These
he
actors...
wants to bring the golden era.
Okay, hang on.
movies
Hang on.
back.
These actors will be my eyes and ears. That's an important phrase. And
Right.
as we bring back the entertainment industry, which has lost business to foreign countries over the past 4 years, together, we will usher in a new, quote, golden age of Hollywood. What is a new golden age of Hollywood? What does that look like to you, Mom?
No more wokeness.
Getting rid of the sex offenders, all the people at the top that were pedophiles.
You mean like Donald Trump?
Yeah, Donald Trump is
the Diddy dude, all that stuff. Getting rid of some of that.
Bringing faith back to the White House.
Right.
the Diddy dude is not part of Hollywood.
Moral standards. There were Hollywood people at those white parties or whatever he threw.
Yeah, and Trump was at Jeffrey Epstein's island.
There's going to be no more Hollywood as you know it.
I'm sorry. What have Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight done in the last 10 years that was of note?
Mel Gibson directed.
They're about to do a whole bunch of stuff that's going to matter.
What's that?
Stallone is in that Taylor Sheridan show, The King of Oklahoma, or whatever.
I watched Tulsa. He's doing a lot of
what an unusual brigade.
Well, they're all super right wing.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
To be the eyes and ears of Hollywood. I don't know what he's talking about.
Mel Gibson's last movie.
Like they have any
all right. You got 4 minutes.
Now
do they have any power to do anything in Hollywood?
Oh, Fat Man. No. I mean, John Voight still acts and stuff here and there, but like none of these guys are at the top of their game. Mel Gibson, I think, is like largely ostracized from mainstream Hollywood because of all of his, when he did that, those phone calls came out of him telling his wife to blow him and all that.
Well, I've been telling him.
What have you been telling me?
Something he needs to watch in about 4 minutes on TV. So we need to wrap it.
What is it? A basketball game?
Yes.
I watched a little bit of that Kansas State KU game last night. Who wound up winning?
KU.
Damn. Sorry about that. What my question here is this. Do you think this is like, I just don't understand this move, I guess, basically. These 3 guys are going to be his, in quotes, eyes and ears in Hollywood. They aren't in any of the important rooms.
What the fuck
was that?
It's some weird shit on Zoom. I don't know. You won't see my Zoom video in this if you're watching on YouTube, but when I held up my hands, it made confetti fall. These guys don't have the capability to be anyone's eyes and ears in Hollywood because they're not anywhere that matters. So to pick them and to put out this statement, are you guys listening? What the fuck's going on? Yes. Okay.
I had to do his thumbprint that you yell at me for in 5 minutes or whatever it's called. Thumbnail, thumbprint.
Yeah. I will need all your thumbnail images. Thank you. Haley, please be sure to take some images yourself.
She's the one that never sends them.
I know. She's old one.
My game.
Huh?
The eyes and ears, I don't know. I mean, he just like, these are my ambassadors. Who cares? Golden age of Hollywood. Bring it back.
But what's a golden age of Hollywood? The golden age of Hollywood was like the 1920s when talkies first started happening. You know, like that's what he wants.
Days. Yeah. Maybe they'll bring back movies.
Guys, that is not what we want. We watched the original Nosferatu before we went to see the one in theaters. Yeah. So I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. We don't want it.
We don't want it? Yeah, we do.
Well, I believe that original Nosferatu was made before Citizen Kane, which was Obviously, Orson Welles'
see who
opus,
has
and it
more
kind of
stroke.
changed everything. What's that? See who has more stroke to do what?
In Hollywood to bring it back, the golden era.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Those three guys don't have any impact on Hollywood.
Yeah, they do.
I think our United States is going back to the golden era times, our whole United States.
I gotta go.
Okay, better talk to him.
All right.
Love
Bye.
everybody.
Love you
I
too.
want to watch girls basketball.
All right. Should women be allowed to play basketball, Dad?
Yeah, without boys.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wait, I am donating money we've been selling merch and I'm donating percentage of this. Who should I donate this to in LA?
There's a million different charities and stuff popping up right now. I would pick any of them.
Do you have a favorite one?
No, I don't. They all are pretty much the same, I believe. I don't want to speak out of turn. I haven't researched it intensely, but I've been making some little donations myself to whenever a friend has, something on their Instagram and they're like, here's where you can donate. I always kick a few bucks into that. I would just look through Instagram at
Fair.
Anybody who's like, my house burned down, I need help.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of this program. Dad had to go watch girls basketball. We got no definitive answer on what is the golden age, the new golden age of Hollywood.
I've got one more thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get Kitty in there. Barn drama is real, Chad, and you need to help my friend and I set up Barn Drama podcast.
Okay.
Barn drama is real.
All right.
Kitty's looking at me.
I can definitely help you set up that podcast if you want. Here's what you need to come up with: a format for the show. What are the segments? How will each show go? What will you talk about? Will you interview guests? If so, who is booking those guests? Then you need recording equipment of some kind. I can help you set up all of that stuff. If you want it to be on YouTube, you're going to need a camera as well.
Commentator guy in the middle?
I will not be a part of this in any way. I simply don't have time. My apologies, but I will help you set it up if you want.
My apologies.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of this program. We did get through 6 topics. I'm kind of impressed that we were able to do that.
Maybe I'll fast.
I did talk fast. There was just a lot going on this week. And I assume in the coming weeks, a lot will be going on as well. So we might be trying to cram 6 topics into every episode. I'm not positive about that. But please join us again next week for our reactions to Donald Trump's first week in office and everything that is about to happen. The shit is going to hit the fan tomorrow. I do believe we are now in an authoritarian ruled country, and it's going to be an interesting way to live for a little while. We'll see how it goes. But I hope everybody out there stays safe and sane if you can.
Oh my God. Quit it.
What do you mean? Quit what?
Tomorrow's going to be the happiest day of my life. I'm going to have all different channels on. I think Newsmax will be on the big TV. Can't wait to see it.
Happier than when you got married to Dad?
It's kind of up there.
Happier than when Haley or I were born?
No. But
so not the happiest day.
Something that you didn't bring up. Well,
Yeah.
you did maybe in the very first segment, how you said it's going to be moved inside due to weather. I think yes, but I also think
he's
for
afraid.
Security. Yeah. They'll be able to,
You
people.
should be.
What?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
They'll have to go through metal detectors now, and then the security will be better.
My hope is that Trump, Zuck, Musk, Bezos, one of them gets got at the very least.
Luigi Mangione.
Please, Mangione Part 2. Mangione Part 2.
That's so mean.
That's so mean. Dad on this very podcast said that he would throw up a Palestinian baby and shoot it in the head with a machine gun before it hits the ground.
Well,
he said that on this very podcast. You were sitting right next to him.
What? I'll have to go back and listen where that was at.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay, so you didn't fall far from the tree.
What's that?
You're wanting to shoot one of them tomorrow.
I don't want to do the shooting. I just hope it happens. So we are different in that way. Thank
They
you,
want
everyone.
someone killed tomorrow, so they didn't fall far from your tree.
Well, good. I'm all for killing Schumer and Pelosi.
Okay, Schumer and Pelosi. Dad said bring
I'd
it.
be down for that. I'll give you Schumer and Pelosi if you give me Musk and Trump.
No, that is not a fair trade.
That's a fair trade. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Come back next week, please. And if you do, bring a friend. Get some other people to listen to this thing. We're going to try and get this audience going a little bit bigger. I have some ideas for this show, things I'd like to do. Unfortunately, they require monetization of this program, which
Haley, you need
has
to
not
start
yet
the
happened.
merch. Haley can start the merch shirts. We need some shirts.
We've been doing this show for almost 3 years. Can you believe that?
What?
We've been doing this for almost 3 years.
No.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
2.
I have a prediction from Dad that the first prediction he made was May 19th, 2022.
Really?
Yes. And he said at that point, his prediction was 10 years from now, there will be no NFL.
That's probably the truth. Why are you laughing about that?
Because it's fucking insane. He has the most predictions of anybody. I have the fewest. Haley has 3. I have 1. My prediction was after Dad told me on June 18th, 2023, that military guys would show up at my door and drag me out. I said, and drag him out if Biden was reelected and all this. And my prediction was no military or civilian action would ever be taken against Dad. That so far has held up. Dad has 17 predictions. And at some point we got to go through all these because some of them have actually come true, which is terrifying. But a lot of them are absolutely fucking insane.
Okay. We'll go through those next week.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps. So join us for that. And if you have any questions, please send them in to me as a 1 minute or shorter audio or video format to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. Before we go, as always, Mom, despite the fact that you are seemingly gleeful about the United States heading into authoritarian rule, I love you. Haley, please stay safe in Texas. I think shit is about to get pretty gnarly there. I love you. Dad, wherever you are, I hope Kansas State women win their basketball game, and I love you.
I'm contemplating getting like a license to carry and just keeping 2 on me at all times in a little vest.
2?
Yeah, like
in shoulder or
yes.
What is it? Not shoulder holsters. What are those?
Yes.
Just a fucking.
I don't know. Yeah. Boom. Yes.
I love
think
that.
about it all the time.
Do you know
like getting like real handcrafted, like the ones from Romeo and Juliet.
You need a sawed-off shotgun on the back too.
yes. Army of Darkness. Yeah. I've got ideas. Swords are legal here. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to have a license to carry here. You can carry, and I don't. But if you want to, go for it.
I'm thinking about it. I have a gun. I'm gonna get 2 more. I'm gonna get a license to carry and just wear them.
Nice. You should have one on. I don't know what these are called. The holsters. Is
that
a shoulder holster?
Yeah, I don't know.
They sit on your rib cage.
I want those. Yes, I talk about this every day at the bakery.
You get an ankle one.
Yep.
Shotgun on the back.
Yep.
You can get 2 little wrist. Like forearm things that shoot crossbow bolts.
Nobody would
on your forearms.
Yes.
Haley,
I think about this all the time.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for those Trump cookies any day. Chad, I love you. Haley, I love you. Bob, I love you.
Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. Chad, I love you.
All right. That wraps up our show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next week for the first week of Trump's second reign of terror.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, the golden era. You know it. Can't wait. Me and Kitty Cat can't wait to watch TV tomorrow. Yahoo!
What time is it?
Noon
Done
Eastern.
my Trump dance for y'all. It starts all day tomorrow early, but I think he is sworn in at noon. I can't wait to see Melania, what she has on. I bet it's going to be beautiful. All his family. Yep. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Go buy those guns.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.